One, I am Ramakrishna. Today we are going to discuss about motion in a straight line. In order to discuss about motion in a straight line, just we have to see some basics regarding this. So here, in order to let's see what is meant by mechanics. What is meant by mechanics? Mechanics. In order to discuss about this mechanics, initially we have to consider a body. A body here is being considered as particle. Body is being considered as a particle. So here if we consider any body, that body is being represented in the form of particle. By considering the particle, we are going to discuss this mechanics. So here this mechanics is being classified into three types. The first one is statics, and second one is kinematics, and the third one is dynamics. So come to the case. Here in the case of statics, we discuss the particle when it is at a rest position. Discuss about the particle when it is at a rest position. Whereas in the case of kinematics, we discuss about the particle when it is in motion. So here we discuss about the motion, whereas here we don't consider the cause of the motion. Means based on which force the body is going to move is not being considered here. That represents this kinematics. Whereas in the case of dynamics, we consider the motion of the body by considering the cause of the motion. So here in this way we can represent this mechanics. Mechanics is classified into statics, kinematics and dynamics. So now we are going to discuss about this kinematics. Means we are going to discuss about the motion of the body without considering the cause of the motion. So in order to discuss, here we have to represent the reference frame. Let us discuss about a reference frame. So now we are going to discuss about frame of reference or reference frame. In order to discuss this reference frame, there are a reference body. Reference body, nothing but observer. So here as well as we require coordinate system. So here based on this we can represent the reference of the body, frame of reference. So come to the case. Here observe that as you observe the graph with respect to x, y and z axis, the position of the particle is being represented. In order to represent that we require reference body, whereas the reference body is being considered along the origin. It is being considered along the origin. Means the reference body is being considered along this axis. With respect to this observer, the position of the particle is changing along the x-axis, y-axis as well as the z-axis. So here, whereas we require one more quantity, that is nothing but coordinate system. So the position of the particle with respect to x, y and z-axis is being represented here. In order to represent this coordinate system, we write the equation as r bar equals to x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So here come to the case of this. It represents the coordinate system and it represents the reference body. So here now position of the particle is being represented with respect to time. The time is being considered here. With respect to time, the position of the particle is changing along the x-axis. With respect to time, the position of the particle is changing along y-axis, and with respect to time, the position of the particle is changing along the z-axis. So here, if we consider the position of the particle along the x-axis, then we represent it as one dimension. If we represent the position of the particle along x-axis and y-axis, then we consider it as two dimensions. If we consider the position of the particle along x, y and z axis, then we represent it as a three dimension. So now we are going to discuss about one-dimensional motion. Now we are going to discuss about displacement and distance. So in order to discuss about the displacement and distance here, by considering the x, y and z axis, we consider a path in which the particle has moved. Whereas it has started at the initial position and it is being represented by I, and it has reached up to the final position and it is being represented as F. So the particle has moved from initial position to final position. Now we are going to represent the motion of the body based on this reference frame along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So here, as you observe this, the position of the particle or the initial position from the origin is at a distance of r1 bar, is at a displacement of r1 bar, whereas here the with respect to reference, observe the final position is at a displacement of r2 bar. So here we represent the coordinate systems r1 bar and r2 bar from origin to initial to final. Based on this, now we have to discuss about the displacement as well as the distance. In order to represent this, let us represent the coordinates of x, y and z along the initial position as well as the final position. At the initial position, let us consider the coordinate along the x-axis is x1 and the coordinate along the y-axis is y1 and the coordinate along the z-axis is z1. Whereas at the final position, the coordinate along the x-axis is x2, y2 and z2. So here at initial position the coordinates are x1, y1, z1 and at final position the coordinates are x2, y2, z2. x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2. So here now we have to represent displacement. Displacement is nothing but the trajectory followed by the body or the locus of this the locus of the body or the particle represents the displacement. Here the displacement is being represented by delta r bar. It is being represented by delta r bar, where delta r bar is equals to final coordinate system, final position minus initial position, final position minus initial, where r2 bar is given as the coordinates are x2, y2 and z2. So it can be represented as x2 I cap plus y2 j cap plus z2 k cap. Whereas the coordinate system r1 bar, the position vector can be given as x1 I plus y1 j plus z1 k. So here let us apply the delta rule to this displacement. So in order before going to apply this delta rule, let us define displacement. Displacement is nothing but it's a change in position vector. Displacement is nothing but a change in position vector. Change in position vector that represents a displacement. So coming to the case here, let us apply the delta rule. As you observe that the delta r bar is moving along this direction. As you observe that it is a triangle. So here r1 bar is moving along this direction and delta r is moving along this direction. Then it is equals to r2 bar. Why? Because it is in opposite direction. So based on that, by applying the delta rule, here we can write it as r1 bar plus delta r bar is equals to r2 bar. Then based on that we can write it as delta r bar is equals to r2 bar minus r1 bar. R2 bar minus r1 bar. It represents the change in the position, which is nothing but displacement. So this trajectory is being represented based on the initial and final positions from the origin or from the observer reference frame. So here based on that we can represent it as a delta r bar equals to r2 r bar minus r1 bar. So here we can find the modulus. Why? Because we are saying that displacement is nothing but position vector, Whereas we know that a vector is nothing but it has a magnitude as well as a direction. So here based on that the delta r bar can be represented as r2 bar minus r1 bar within the modulus. So here as you observe that r2 bar is nothing but we can write it as directly I am writing the equation. Based on that we can write it as x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. This gives the modulus of the change in the displacement. So now we are going to see the displacement units and dimensional formula, whereas the unit of displacement is meter in SI system, whereas its unit is centimeter in CGS system. Whereas its dimensional formula is m to the power of 0, L to the power of 1, T to the power of 0. So this is the displacement, dimensional formula of displacement and unit of displacement. Based on that now we are going to discuss about distance. Come to the case of this distance. Distance is nothing but actual path traced by the body. Actual path traced by the body represents a distance. So here it represents distance. Actual path traced by the body represents a distance. Here come to the case of this. The unit for distance is meter in SI system and it is centimeter in CGS system. Whereas its dimensional formula is m to the power of 0, L to the power of 1, T to the power of 0. So here as you observe that displacement is having a unit of meter and dimensional formula is m to the power of 0, L to the power of 1, T to the power of 0. In the same way here distance also is having a unit of meter as well as the dimensional formula is m to the power of 0, L to the power of 1, T to the power of 0. As you observe that the unit as well as the dimensional formula is same. Whereas here the displacement is a vector quantity. It's a vector quantity. Whereas distance is a scalar quantity. So here based on that we can represent that always distance is greater than displacement. Distance is greater than displacement. Now let us see a problem regarding this distance and displacement. Let us see this. A body covers distance of L meter along a semicircular path. Calculate the magnitude of displacement of the body and the ratio of distance to displacement. So here we had represented that the body has moved a distance of L meter. So based on that we can represent that distance is equals to L. Whereas here as you observe that the circumference L is given as L equals to pi r. Since the body has moved along this circumference of this circle. Whereas as you consider the displacement, the body has started at initial position and it has reached to final position. So the displacement is given along the diameter of this semicircle. So it is represented as the sum of the two radius. So the displacement is given as r plus r, nothing but 2r. So from this equation as you observe that L equals to pi r, from this we can write it as r equals to L by pi. So if we substitute this in this equation, then we can write it as 2 into L by pi. 2 into L by pi. So it represents a distance and this equation represents a displacement. Then the ratio of distance to displacement. Ratio of distance to displacement is equals to L by 2L by pi. So L and L gets cancelled, and here we get a pi by 2. So here the ratio of distance to displacement is pi by 2 or 90 degrees. So let's see the next problem. A mosquito flies from a point A of -1, 2, 3 on to a point B, 2, -1, -2. Find displacement of the mosquito. Also find the displacement along z-axis. Also we have to find the displacement along z-axis. In order to represent this, we consider the point P. So here observe that the mosquito has been flied from A to B. So here we consider the change in position. The change in the position is given as the final position of the mosquito minus initial position of the mosquito. Final position as well as the initial position of the mosquito. Observe that the final position of the mosquito is 2, -1, -2. So based on that we can write it as along the x-axis 2I minus j plus 2k, whereas along the position A, initial position, it can be represented as minus I plus 2j plus 3k plus 3k. So here the change in the position has to be represented based on this displacement, based on the distance. So here observe that 2I minus of minus I, or let us write one more equation, 2I minus j plus 2k minus into minus plus I cap plus into minus 2j plus into minus 3k cap. So here 2I plus I, nothing but 3I cap minus j minus 2j minus 3j plus 2k minus 3k minus k cap. So here these are the coordinates of change in the position, or nothing but a displacement. So here the coordinates of this displacement can be represented as 3, minus 3, minus 1. 3, minus 3, minus 1. After that, find the displacement along the z-axis. Along the z-axis, the displacement is minus 1. Along the z-axis, the displacement is